Now it's recording.
Well, about a couple months ago, Kate and I were curious about different religions and their differences. So we decided to have a little project and explore some different churches, pay them all a visit. And one of them that we were both curious about was the Church of Scientology.
In the Loop.
Yeah, which is located off Delmar.
And where?
In St. Louis.
Okay.
And we went there on a Sunday afternoon. And
An open house like usual.
It just so happens it was an open house day. So we came inside, and it's a really big building. It's pretty nice. And the first thing I noticed was their they had like a reception desk, like a secretary. The secretary was like my age, which I thought was kind of weird. And so we told her that we were just visiting, and she made us fill out some information right away, which I thought was kind of odd. And I wasn't like comfortable giving them my real name and address. Kate was, right?
Yeah, I did.
So,
But I never got anything in the mail.
Within seconds, I noticed a bug-eyed, creepy man kind of walking around, watching us. And then, as soon as we turned in our information, he came by and he was like, "Hi, I'm Barry." And he said, he was
Do
just,
you remember his name?
and he was just like, "Shall we?" "We shall," I said. And as we were walking up the steps up to his lair, I couldn't help noticing all the L. Ron Hubbard portraits around the building.
Nice portraits.
And I was trying to show Kate them, and she was nervous that I was going to embarrass her.
And I was laughing and I was telling him to stop.
I wasn't laughing. I was
Embarrassing.
just...
Wasn't
So we came into a room that Barry led us to, and basically it was an L. Ron Hubbard bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
And it had his various works on shelves with like hundreds of copies of each one. It was basically like a shrine for all of his books. And we sat down on these comfy chairs, and we talked to Barry, and started off by, he just asked us what we wanted to know, basically. So we had some questions for him, and all of his answers were pretty standard, straightforward, nothing too weird. I wasn't creeped out at that point. And then he offered us to take the free personality test, which
like 50.
it was like 200 questions.
Oh yeah, it was 200 questions.
Mm-hmm. So basically, he gave us like a Scantron sheet where you like fill in the bubbles, and I had to answer 200 questions about myself, and so did Kate, and it probably took us at least a half hour. It's pretty boring, pretty weird. And then I was a little startled because I had to give my information again, and I didn't remember what made up information I had given them prior to that, so I just left it blank, other than my name. And I noticed he was putting our information into his computer while we were taking the personality test. I was a little scared, didn't know what was going to happen. So when we were done with that, we had to wait around while he calculated our results, and then we sat down by his desk, and Kate and I were both surprised to find out that we were both
depressed.
Apparently severely depressed.
But don't worry, Scientology can fix us.
And he told us about Dianetics, which is a made-up kind of form of psychology mixed with like your own biology, like how you can work out problems that will actually like help you emotionally as well as physically. So
Yeah.
basically, like if you have a problem with your toe, you can train your mind to fix that. It's kind of weird, kind of seemed like science fiction, which is what L. Ron Hubbard was. He was a science fiction writer prior to starting his own religion and making lots of money from having sex with little boys, apparently. But then, yeah, after Barry was giving us our results, he was asking us about ourselves and asking a lot of personal questions, a lot of weird ones.
Very personal questions.
And he asked me what I wanted to do with my life, and I told him that I was thinking about, I wanted to major in psychology and maybe go on to psychiatry eventually. And he seemed a little alarmed by my answer, and I did not know Scientology's problems with psychiatry, and he told me that he had a very interesting DVD for me to check out, and he didn't say that it wasn't like neutral or pro psychiatry, he just said I needed to watch it. And I was like, alright, sounds good. And then when things started getting kind of creepy, asking us too many personal questions about us and life, Kate asked him what time it was, because she was like, I have to babysit at 5 o'clock, do you know what time it is? And he was like, oh, it's almost 4:50, and she's like, oh, we gotta go. She didn't really have to babysit, we just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. So then we were leaving, and he made sure that I watched this very educational DVD, as well as this one.
We both got one of these.
So, I mean, it's a pretty high-tech religion that they've got, a DVD promotional video for everyone to check out. I don't know, I didn't get to learn too much about the E-meter. That's what I was hoping to ask him, but I forgot to. And then we kind of hurried on out of there. Another thing I remember, some of the people in there seemed kind of creepy as well.
Yeah.
It had kind of a strange, and I don't know, I just had a weird feeling.
They were very aware of us.
Yeah.
Probably because no one ever goes to their open houses.
Yeah.
Every small.
Is that everything?
I think so. And yeah, that was our day in the Church of Scientology, and I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Is that all?